Hey y'all, it's Vicki, and welcome to another video. So today is the day that I film my weekly recap of Tim, Sarasota Tim that is. And I wasn't going to do this video, and then, well, I didn't really talk about him on Friday. And I got some things to say, so I thought I would come on and talk about it. Now, when I look back over the week, I know we talked about most of this stuff, so I'm not going to get into it. You know, we've talked about him using the word solo about every video. He did a great concealed carry options for a firearm. I don't know about that. As you know, I don't talk about that stuff. He did a hilarious video assembling a portable grill trolley, which Ziggy and I did that. He talked about it yesterday. He's not Ziggy. I just call him that. Anyway, because I don't know if he wants his real name out there. Anyway, not any of my business. The video I have not watched because I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. I don't want to see him try to do something that would I probably couldn't put it together either, so I probably shouldn't make fun of him. So I'll go on from there. You know, he goes to Walmart, I think, every day, just about. He did that old test. Well, I say old test. Supposedly stress test. And I don't know if he's taking the video down or what's going on, because I don't even see anything talking about that. So maybe I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, as I said, I got some opinions. And then he says, I ran some sprints. It was tough. If he is actually running some sprints, he's asking for a heart attack. He should not be running sprints. No one should run sprints at 66 years old or, older, unless they're in shape. I mean, it's just not good on your joints. And even then, I'm not sure that you should actually be running sprints, especially outside on pavement, concrete. I don't even know if he did. Some people think he's just saying that. I don't know, and I don't really care. I just don't think that's something he should be doing. But then again, I'm supposed to be a hater, so I can't say anything like that. And then he went to McDonald's on Saturday. They gave him the wrong order. It's obvious he's staying with Tammy. Of course, he never mentions her name. I guess he cannot mention her name at all. And, when he gives you hints. He orders his coffee and a zing, which is really, he thinks that's so funny, just like everything else. It's not funny, Tim. It's not. It's not funny. After you've done it a couple of times, it's over. Move on. And I know somebody's going to say, well, boy, she's in a grumpy mood today. No, I'm not. I'm just speaking the truth. It's not funny anymore. Okay, then he has to go back because he gave him the wrong order. I guess Tammy was upset. I don't know if she was upset. I can tell you right now, if Dave got me the wrong order, he'd just say, oh, well, I'm sorry, honey. He would not go back and get it. But I wouldn't ask him to either. So it's neither here nor there. Anyway, I guess it's good he went back. But whether she made him or not, I don't know. Then he goes to Nathan Bendover Park or Nathan Benderson Park, whatever it's called, talking about the rowing. I think he did this just to kind of show Dan up, New York Dan, because, Dan went there and didn't see what was so impressive about it. I don't see I'm sure it's a nice park, as I said, but other cities, towns have nice parks. We have a nice park up at the dam that I have actually filmed before, but it's been a while back, and I don't know what video to tell you where it's at. But I can film it again. I just haven't recently. Okay, today, and this is what brings me to today, because this video is really getting on my nerves. So we're going to go to the transcript. Okay, he's gone to McDonald's. On the way, he says paying it forward, so I guess he buys somebody. Well, I know he buys somebody else something. And of course, the person thanks him. You know, the person has to thank him. When I've said over and over again, if a single man in a car buys me my food, I'm going to be a little bit leery. I'm just going to be real with you. I'm just going to be just a little bit suspicious. But as long as he goes, I mean, I would thank him, but as long as he goes his separate ways, then I probably wouldn't think so much about it. Okay, so he's in the CC Rider. Says it's 73 degrees. Well, it's about 74 here, Tim. And I'll be glad when it turns colder because I don't like it this early. It's been, well, it went from one extreme to the other. And of course, that messes up my sinuses and everything. So I'm not a big fan of all this warm weather so soon. I mean, I think it should be coming about the end of April. And then I'm okay with it. But right now, it's just a little early because I know next week it's going to drop. And if anything's budding, it may freeze unless they can find a way to cover it up. And what I'm talking about is apples, because there's a big apple crop here. Okay. So he says he's going to get a zing and a senior coffee and some hotcakes. Well, I guess the hotcakes are for Tammy, and maybe he's getting him some too. I don't know. He's not on any kind of meat-based diet. I don't know what he's trying to do other than I think he's eating what he wants, and that's fine. Just say I'm eating what I want. And maybe he has, and I just hadn't seen it because, like I say, I don't watch every minute of it. Anyway, he just seems to be in a mood where he's, okay, he keeps mentioning that he was busy yesterday being Tim. Well, that means he was with Tammy because he can't film anymore with Tammy. And why can't you just say that? Why can you not say Tammy, or as you used to call her, Miss T? So why can't you say that? It's really sad that you can't. I mean, that tells you how pee-whipped he is. And that's okay if he is. Just admit it, though. But he would never admit that. Oh, no. He would never admit that. He's talking about those chaffles again. I mean, those were things years ago. I thought they went out when everybody went to carnivore instead of keto. But maybe they're still at, maybe there's some people that still make some. I don't know. Anyway, I've got one of those things. I used it maybe twice and that was it. I'm not into the cheese as the bread. I don't know why. I just never was. I tried it. It wasn't for me. I'd rather sit and get me a lettuce wrap and just eat it that way. Even though lettuce is not carnivore, but I do eat lettuce on occasion. Quite a bit, actually. But I'm not carnivore. All right. I do eat what Vicky wants to eat. Yes, I'm saying it in the third person. Some days I might be keto, meat-based, and some days I may eat a carb. So there you have it. All right. He talks about that. Let me see exactly here what he says, and I'll try to cut some of this out. He's talking about that stupid meme or reel that he was talking about that, you know, where the person keeps paying it. They keep paying it forward or paying it backwards, whatever you want to call it. And then they get to one that's really high price. He thinks it's so funny. It's not that funny. To me, it's not. Anyway. And maybe that's because I had to really see it. But I don't know why he can't share it. It looks like to me he could share it in the video. I've done that before. But no, he's too afraid. And, you know, he can still give the creator credit. You know, he can. Okay, now he's telling everybody to buy his Prime and, you know, use his Amazon Prime and all that stuff, and he'll make commission. And, you know, I don't really promote mine that much. I mean, it's there in my box if anybody wants to use it. And he keeps talking about Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos he's not running Amazon anymore. Yes, he's still a part of it, but he has a CEO now. So Bezos is just, I think, chairman of the board or something. I don't know exactly what he is, but he's not the one actually running the show now. He's just in the background. Anyway, he talks about living in South Florida again. He does not live in South Florida. Talks about the Cadillac dealership. Well, we know Tammy's got a Cadillac. And then he's talked about going on a new cruise, so Tammy must have bought him another cruise. I thought he wasn't going back on any cruises again. I guess they got over whatever they fussed about. And, you know, use his Amazon link. And, of course, buy him a cup of coffee. Buy him a cup of coffee because he really needs the money. Okay, now we're going to go on and talk about, as I said, his videos they've not been exciting this week. I do think that, and this is me going on and giving my opinion, and this is my opinion, and I'm going to say this, I have no truth. I don't know anything about anything at all. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just sharing what I see and hear. And I do not think he is seeing that he is, I'm not going to say he's not seeing a cardiologist. I started to say that and I thought, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that he has not had any of these tests. Okay, he supposedly has this Advantage plan. I've never known an Advantage plan, and I'm not going to say I don't know them all. I don't. But I've never known an Advantage plan that you didn't have to pay 20% on test until you reach your deductible. So if he's having EKGs, stress test, whatever, he should be having to pay more than a copay. And we know how Tim fusses about money. And he fusses about the $45. Well, why is he fussing about this? He's had to pay this or that. I mean, does he have an Advantage plan or does he have something else? Is he lying about his plan? Is he lying about the test? Who knows? Who knows with him? Okay, and I know that I did watch Life and Vibes live. I wasn't on it live because I didn't get a notification, but then again, I was probably doing something else anyway and didn't see it if one did come across. So I did not watch the live. I watched it later after, you know, she recorded it. And all I'm going to say is this, is that I do agree with her on that. I don't think he's really having the test, that they are probably Fred's test, and he's trying to set himself as an example. I do think he gets blood work done regularly. I'm not sure that when he took that Band-Aid off the other day or whatever that around him, that did not look like somebody that, I don't know, it just didn't make sense to me. When he shows the gauze or whatever, the Band-Aid, and you see what you think is blood, that doesn't, as I agree with Ray on that, it doesn't look like blood. Blood oxidizes, and it just didn't. It was too red. And I do not believe that, I agree with Ray, that a doctor would be going through a series of seeing how the medication's working. Of course, if he's not going to take it, he's not going to take it. Unless he's told the doctors he's had chest pains. Now, with the experience I've had with people, they either had chest pains, they'd already had a heart attack, or there was a reason why they did a stress test. It wasn't just because they wanted to see. There's a reason for it. Sorry, I'm shaking the phone. And either he's not telling us everything, or he doesn't know how to explain what he's doing. Now, maybe he's telling the truth and he don't even know how to talk about it. Well, in that case, he should not be even telling if he can't tell it right. I mean, I could get on here and tell you about my biopsy that I had on my breast, but I'm not going to because, anyway, I do think Tim has a primary care doctor. I think that's probably who he's seeing for this stuff, but I don't know that for sure. I do think he goes once a year to them because I think that, well, in North Carolina, you have to have a primary care doctor in order to get the Advantage plan. I don't know if that's the same way every other state, but in North Carolina, you do have to have a primary care doctor and they have to be on that list of whoever you're signing up under. So I would have thought that would be the way everywhere, but maybe it's not. Since I don't work in medical, I don't know. So I do think he has a primary care doctor. I think he has an eye doctor. But as far as, let me put it to you this way, and I forgot, I was almost about to leave this out, is when he's showing himself at that doctor's office and he's having coffee, I don't know of anyone that had a stress test that was allowed to drink coffee. You're told not to eat or drink anything before you go. And also afterwards, they are extremely tired. They don't want to do anything. And Tim was just this bursting, bubbling of energy. And I'm like, this doesn't make any sense to me. But as I said before, I'm not accusing him of anything. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense. But maybe Tim is Superman. Who knows? Okay, now, to the person who's leaving the nasty messages on my video talking about my neck, and I know I brought this up plenty of times before, or making the name about my neck, or my chins, whatever you want to call them, you're not doing anything. You're not hurting my feelings. I'm well aware of my neck. It is something genetic. If I weighed 100 pounds, I would still have this neck. Now, it might be a little bit more saggy, but I would still have it. It's just something that happens. My thyroid has been checked, because, you keep saying I need to see a doctor. My thyroid's been checked. It's checked every year. It's pretty much the same as it's always been. There's probably a little bit of it going down, but not enough to worry. Anyway, I have no goiters or anything like that. Oh no, maybe I do. No, I don't. If you don't want to look at me, don't look. Move on. Move on. And then I want to say, I have never made fun of Tim's body. I have said, I think he wears the wrong size clothing. Yes, I've said that. I have a belly. Tim has a belly. I've never said or never made fun of him. I'm not into body shaming of anyone. I know how hard it is to lose weight. I don't agree with people saying that he's pregnant, but it's their videos. They can say what they want to. Or they can comment what they want to. That's just not how I operate. Because I do believe it can come back to you. And that's why I don't do it. So if Tim is the one making these accounts, then he really needs to pray hard, because as long as you're making fun of someone else, it's going to come back to you, Tim. So I am not making fun of his body. I don't care what size he is. It's just, I think that he could look better in a looser type shirt. That's all I've said. He buys, now I know these other shirts I think were polyester, so maybe they won't shrink. I don't know, but them cotton shirts that he buys sometimes, he does not buy them in the right size because they're going to shrink. I mean, you need to buy clothing that is all cotton when you have a belly that is sometimes 1 to 2 sizes larger and then wash them and let them shrink to what they will look better on you. That's all I'm saying. I'm giving him fashion advice now. All right. I don't really have anything else to say. The only thing I'll say about that person that's making the accounts and doxing, it's just, I've never doxed him. I never would. Sure, you're curious about we all were curious what park he was staying at. But even if, at times I already knew. I knew where he was at or the vicinity, but I didn't say it in my videos, and I wasn't going to. I wasn't going to go hunt him down. I have no desire to hunt the man down. And, I hate to disappoint you, Calpote, but I'm not interested in Tim. He does nothing for me. I've said that before. What does he have to offer any woman? Tell me what this man has to offer any woman. Maybe that's being critical or whatever, but I don't see anything that he has to offer any woman. Nothing at all. Nothing. Anyway, I'm going to go because this video is too long now, and I got out what I wanted to say, and I'm not wearing any makeup because I'm thinking about filming some skincare videos or something. I don't know. Anyway, I've got some stuff out here, but I got some more research to do, and I may film just a little bit, and then I'll film as time goes on and then put it together. That was probably better than trying to film it all at one time. So thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate each and every one of you for watching my video. Again, click the thumbs up. And I know that I've been saying this too much, and I know I probably shouldn't, but click the thumbs up. Leave me a comment if you have time and want to. And I will be more diligently watching my comments from now on. So if your comment goes to Helpful Review, you'll have to wait and give me time to go look at that to release it. So I don't think I'm deleting your comments, but just know that I am putting them on strict, and I'll be reviewing them. Now, some will go through without any problem, but some may not. But it's just because I don't believe, and I can't believe that YouTube did not stop that from going, public. But whatever. Anyway, I got it down, and I'll talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye.